is the average number of people killed by ostriches every year is 100. So the ostrich is 20 times more dangerous than the shark. And it's more dangerous to play golf than it is to swim with sharks or surf with sharks, because more people are struck and killed by lightning on golf courses every year than are attacked by sharks. And the average number of people killed by soda pop machines falling on them every year is 9. But when you go into the oceans, you have to understand that there is an element of danger there. A friend of mine once wrote an essay saying the importance of great big fierce animals that can eat you, meaning they tend to make us a little humble. And so we can look at ourselves and we're not as great as we think we are, that we can't go out into the natural world without respect, because we could get bitten. So it's going to be an incredible year ahead of us. I want to thank you for supporting us here tonight, and for enabling us to leave from Fremantle, carry on to Hobart, and then go down into the Southern Ocean. This year we'll be in the Ross Sea area, south of New Zealand. And we will be there from mid-December until March. And I think during that time you're going to see a significant impact on the Japanese whaling fleet. Hopefully so much so that they will not come back next year. Just to explain why we're calling this Operation No Compromise, is that earlier this year, New Zealand and the United States led an effort to compromise with the Japanese, to say, okay, well, if you cut the quota in the Southern Ocean by half, we'll legalize whaling for you in the North Pacific. I don't know what kind of deal that was, because we have already cut the quota by half. But as far as the International Whaling Commission and the government's concerned, we don't exist. So anything that we do, they just simply don't count. But I said, what's the point of cutting the quota in half when the quota's already been cut in half? The fact is this is the Southern Ocean Whale Sanctuary. What is it about the word sanctuary none of you seem to understand? It's a sanctuary. And the United States, yes I know, but you have to understand the food culture of other cultures. This is the new Cont phrase. You know, back in 1992, they came up with this word called sustainability. What that word means is business as usual under another name. Everything is now sustainable. It's getting ridiculous. Everything is sustainable. None of it is sustainable at all, of course. But now the new thing is food culture. We can't interfere with the food culture of the Chinese. If they want to eat shark fin soup, that's their food culture, and it's racist if you try and stop it. And it's the same with whales. That's their food culture. Dolphins are their food culture. All I can say is that the Spanish can give up bullfighting, as they did in Catalonia this year, and the English can give up fox hunting. Then the Chinese can give up eating shark fins, and the Japanese can give up dolphins. Because one of the things, I just want to leave you one other thing here, is there's a thing called the economics of extinction. That there is money to be made by driving a species into extinction. And this is what they're doing. Mitsubishi right now has built giant refrigerated warehouses to pack as much bluefin tuna into it as possible. They've already got a 5-year supply. They can supply Japan for the next 5 years with what they have, but they want a 10 to 15-year supply. The reason being is that the more bluefin that they pack into those warehouses, the more diminished the bluefin become in the sea. And the more diminished they become, that diminishment translates into increased prices of the commodity in the warehouse. One bluefin tuna, the most expensive fish on the planet right now, is worth, on average, $70,000 US. One fish. Some of them are sold for $250,000. But if you can wipe them out, and you're sitting on a 15-year supply in a warehouse of dead tuna, all flash frozen, you now got yourself $1 million fish and billions of dollars of profit for Mitsubishi. These are not fishermen. These are corporations investing in short-term investment for short-term gain. After that, they wipe out the tuna, they'll just go on to something else. And all the fishermen that they drafted to work for them will be out of work, but they don't care. They're just expendable, just as the fish they catch are expendable. So this is what we're looking at, are large corporations that are systematically wiping out species in the oceans to make a quick buck. And that's what we're up against. And those corporations have incredible amounts of money and a lot of PR leverage. And therefore, we're up against a very formidable opposition. But I always believe that the one thing that can make a difference on this planet is the passion of individuals. And we can't depend on governments, we can't depend on big organizations, but we can depend upon the passion of individuals. And when people say, oh my God, the answers are impossible, my answer to that is, well, yes, it is an impossible situation, but sometimes the only answer is the impossible one. The impossible can become possible. In 1972, the very idea that Nelson Mandela would be president of South Africa was unthinkable, unimaginable, and impossible, yet it happened. So I believe we can save the oceans no matter how impossible it looks by harnessing the passion and the imagination of people around the world who care. And I want to thank you all for being here and caring.